Hello everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Of course, we're happy to have you along as we take a look at what's happening in the world of Club Rugby, Varsity Cup, Varsity Shield, Community Cup. Of course, we'll take a look at the Super 15 and what's happening in the world of Super Brew. We know you've been challenging us in the Super Brew feature and it's become quite exciting. My usual panel this evening, Morgan Newman, Jerome Parvarte and Herman Abrams. Hello Morgs.
How's it, chaps? How are you going?
I'm not too bad, are you?
I'm well. Good weekend of rugby.
Ja, it has been a packed weekend of rugby. Jerome, hoe gaan met jou?
Baie goed JP, na maandag aand so 'n oorwinning vir UWC, gaan dit goed?
Mr. H.
Dit gaan net goed met hom so elke tweede maandag.
The mood at home is always good if it's been a home game. But let's start off at the beginning then. It's Varsity Shield and let's take a look there at the results in the Varsity Shield. It was a solid win there for CUT, 36 points to 12 over FNB Fort Hare, and of course a great win there for UWC, 36 points to 13. That's exactly what we were looking for, good win there. Why don't we take a look at the highlights now from the match between UWC and KZN. Good win for them there. Let's see what happened.
That's the Rugby That Rocks magazine show.
Solid result there for UWC. Jerome, Freddie Miller, is it Lionel van Vollenhoven, playing out of their socks?
Yeah, Freddie moved to fly off this week again and showed some class there. I mean, we all know he's a scrum half, but as well as good at number 10. And again, I think it's the third time this year that he's been man of the match. So it doesn't matter where he plays, he's just one of that players with the natural talent. Well,
I think he's obviously his mom must be happy. He's getting more of those roses, and he's got more pair of pink shorts now than anyone else.
Yeah, no, definitely, JP. He's really, I don't know. They say real men wear pink.
I don't know. Morgs, do you wear pink?
Chaps, I'm a fun wearer of pink, so yeah, I'll go with I'll go with your statement. Yeah.
No, but let's go back to Freddie. I mean, I honestly think that he must be the chip and kick. Or the chip and chase master of rugby.
Yeah, definitely, JP. He's spot on, and you know, as a coach, you say if you kick, you must definitely win the ball back. So he's one of the guys that can kick, and you know that he'll win the ball back, either win it back or score.
But in that case, his backline obviously knows exactly what he's going to do. He's chipped up and they're racing it through. I mean, this should be, considering defensive skills are so tight now, it should be one of the new moves. I'm surprised that more coaches aren't doing it. Either a grubber and chase or a chip and chase.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that's a plan move because we needed that bonus point try and the defense was tight. So that's a planned move to grab or chip it. And I mean, he chipped it and then we went through and score. And if we saw last week the Crusaders against Stormers, 2 tries with grubbers, and it's difficult to defend that.
And obviously, Morgs, let's go to you. I mean, you play in the back line, you're a centre. How do you know? How do you get that communication right between your scrum off, your fly off? When is it that you break the line to chase that ball?
Look, James, it's often the decision lays with the fly off, and it's often in teams. What teams do is they have a call for it. So some teams will call it whatever it is, or
So you're expecting it. You're ready for it.
But yeah, I mean, look, you get the fly offs that play on instinct, that will just do it out of natural instinct, and then also if you're a cohesion, that sort of a cohesive backline that's played together for a while, that understanding is there. That as soon as you feel the defense is pressurizing you, as soon as you feel it's tight and there's no one at the back, then it's often it's sort of an instinctive thing that everybody can read. So yeah, it happens often, but I mean, that's a weapon that it's underused and really powerful. And I see Freddie's been using it and it's coming off for him.
Let's take a look now at the logs in the Varsity Shield and see who is standing where. Well, there we see CUT's on 32 points. They're in first place, and in second place, UWC. They've managed to fight themselves back to the top. UKZN on 16, Fort Hare's on 15, and TUT is on 8 points. Well, great to see there that UWC is back in the mix. There was a little bit of a hesitation. This means that next week, Monday's game, is going to be so much more spectacular. Jerome, this is now the fight for the semi-finals.
Yeah,
for the finals.
Definitely, JP, because next week against Fort Hare, it's a semi-final for UWC, and as Mr. H was saying last week, just coming back to that point, that asked me if there's a possibility that UWC can end last. So I don't know if it was a positive or negative. I just want to ask Mr. H what this.
Time to take an ad break. We'll take an ad break. We'll come back. We'll start taking a look at the Varsity Cup, and we'll also take a look at some of the fixtures coming up in the Varsity Cup and Shield shortly. Back with you guys in a mo.
Hi, I'm Bob Skinstead, and you're watching Cape Rugby TV.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Westenburg, like the new Super Ace 1-ton mini truck. Our special introductory offer begins at only $109,995 from only $1,499 per month. With a 60,000 kilometer 3-year maintenance plan, the longest load body in its class, power steering, and so much more. The Super Ace mini truck is powered to take your business places. To find out more, SMS the words Super Ace to 32010 and one of our service consultants will be in touch. Terms and conditions apply.
Tractor is a good buy for sure.
Get more fantastic deals on Evox products at Dis-Chem now. Grab a 1.9 kilogram Lean Pro diet shake plus 30 free GCC diet caps for only $3.99. With 21 grams of protein and only 2 grams of carbohydrates, Lean Pro is perfect for your low-carb diet. Build lean muscle mass with 2.6 kilograms of amino whey protein for only $449.95 and get a free creatine HCl. Get down to your nearest Dis-Chem now for more great deals on Evox products. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers.
Another exciting week of rugby here in Western Province, and that's what we're looking for, exciting running rugby. Let's take a look now at the results in the Varsity Cup. More excitement there, and this is what we're looking for you to get out and enjoy those entertaining Varsity Cup and Varsity Shield games. Fort Hare, at least not Fort Hare, UWC, UCT and Marties are your local guys. Staying there at the logs then, or at least on the results, it's UJ drawing with Shimlers, 26 all. Marties, well, it was a close one for them, 37-34 over Pucker. NMMU, 13-7 over Tuks, and FNB UCT, a 10-point win, 50-40 over FNB Wits. Yeah, that's what we were looking for. UCT slowly starting to make a comeback. Let's look at some of the highlights in the match between UCT and Wits. Good result there for UCT. That's what they were looking for. Jerome, what is it that made them come back here? I mean, they beat Wits 50 points to 40. Obviously, something's going right for UCT.
Yeah, I just think on the day, JP, it's just the bounce of the ball because they were unlucky in a few games.
Yeah.
And also in the beginning, they had lots of injuries. So I think the guys in that position now, of the injured guys, they settle in their positions now. And I mean, if they start to run and things just happen for them, then they can be dangerous. So it's good that they sort of bounce back now.
Morgs, what makes a 90-point game?
Look, James, I think, I see the wind was howling down in Cape Town. So obviously, I mean, that's an important factor is that they're obviously two big scoring halves, if you want to call it that. But also, I think, UCT are known for open flair, open rugby, and they spread the ball wide. And bottom of the table clash, let's be brutally honest, I mean, both teams have nothing to lose. So it's literally a case of throwing the ball around and sort of, trying to get some points on the board and trying to get their first win, which UCT happened to get.
So this is, I mean, you got to ask yourself this question then, considering that UCT had a couple of injuries, they lost their captain. How long does it take you to start coming back and settling into it? Jerome, I mean, with Levi Woodendal out, and then there were a number of injuries, and we were saying UCT is going to have an easy run in the league. It looks like they're starting to get back into it. And
yeah, JP, that's why I say like the injured guys really was a big blow for UCT. And the guys that coming in their place now, they settle in, because a lot of time when you do your runs and you do your plays, you mostly concentrate on the starting 15 or 22 guys. So the other guys are normally just come in for 10 minutes and do a few plays and things like that. So now they're in and doing all the plays and doing everything. So that's why they settle down now and get the things going now.
Morgs, in a case like that, you've obviously got a lot of second team players coming to the first team. How long does it take them for them to adjust?
Look, I don't know what UCT systems are like, but generally what often happens is the first and second teams will play the same patterns and the same game plan. Because of those, if they get 2 or 3 injuries at the top, the guys that are filling in have been running the same moves and running the same plays. So I don't think it'll be too hard. I think maybe just, with UCT and it being the Varsity Cup and, the sort of lack of experience, with UCT also having lost a lot of players to the Vodacom Cup, I think it was a big step up for these guys that have never played Varsity Cup, coming from second to, I want to call it second team club level. It's a tough one to big boots to fill. Levi Woodendal was the captain. So the guys that came in there obviously had big boots to fill, and it looks like they're getting it right now. Unfortunately, a little bit too late. But it bodes well for next year.
Mr. H, again, another reason why you need depth in your clubs, and the clubs with depth are going to be successful.
Yeah, and it is so, like Morgan said, when you go into the first team match for the first time, you have a lot of jitters. You're not used to playing there. You're not used to the atmosphere. You were sitting on the sideline, but you were not in there. It makes a big difference when you actually run out with the team as a chosen one.
And again, you need to start looking at the juniors. You need to make sure that your under-20s are in the mix. And I think this is one of the reasons why Western Province is so adamant about making sure you can't play in the league structures if you don't have an under-20 team.
Yeah, this year I think Western Province will have 40 up to 60 under-20 sides that are playing in leagues, and that if you look at the stats and the things, that is where you see the growth. Those clubs know that they must have under-20s. So they go out and they look for under-20s. And that makes the club strong. Yeah,
let's take a look now at the logs in the Varsity Cup. And there we see, of course, Marties are in first place on 33 points. Tuks are on 22. UJ on 21. NMMU on 21. Pika 21. Shimlas 16. Ikes are second last in the log on 7. Has not been a good season for them. They're on 12 points. And Wits are on just 2 points. Let's take a look at the fixtures. And we'll see coming up now over the on Monday the 25th, we'll see it's in the Shield. It's CUT against TUT, and UWC take on Fort Hare. Right, folks, of course, that's the game that you want to get to. You want to get down to UWC this coming Monday. It is a massive game for them. Of course, this will be now the determination of the semi-finals, or at least, who's going to be going into the finals. So CUT against TUT, one of those will come out as a winner. UWC against Fort Hare, a home game for UWC. Jerome, it's a massive match. This is what they're looking for. This is what they've been waiting for. This will determine the finals. I think folks must, of course, remember that the Shield kicked off a week earlier. So these are the semi-finals, whereas in the Varsity Cup, we'll take a look at those fixtures in a minute. they're a week behind to see who will go into the semi-finals. But UWC, home ground advantage, they've got the crowd behind them. They're looking potentially at a finals in the Shield.
Yeah, definitely, JP. The next Monday is very important for UWC, and I know that also important for Fort Hare. And Fort Hare's got a few supporters here from the Eastern Cape studying at UWC. So I think it's going to be a big game for both teams. And I think whoever win there, hopefully, I know that the UWC guys are confident that they're going to take it. Then there's an opportunity. CUT haven't lost a game, so it's by time that they lose a game. So if UWC win, then the chances are that they win the competition.
And of course, if they win with high enough points, they could be looking at a home final.
They potentially can, JP, but then you need to really up the points.
Yeah.
And but they can, but it's just the guys at UWC just say like they were but down, and now it's just to get into the final.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the fixtures now in the Varsity Cup. And there you see it's Mighties against NMMU. That is at 5 o'clock on Monday. So you can go to the Mighties game, and then from there you can go straight to the Fort Hare game. And don't forget, then it's Tuks against UJ. But the home games that we're looking for is, of course, UWC. We want to make sure that you are there on Monday night. Get there. The kickoff is at 7 o'clock. It is going to be entertainment galore. I'll be on the side of the field trying to get you to get behind your team, because certainly one thing that you can see is when the crowd there at UWC is behind the team plays so much better. So book the night, 7 o'clock kickoff at UWC to go and watch your hometown Boykies. Jerome.
Yeah, JP, you're always on the side of the field, but you don't help a lot.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Look, I try my best.
No, what I'm saying
is Jerome saying that you must take the Segway and tackle people, or
right,
is that?
Right. Because he's I know he can't run that fast, but you know he drive that car on the field, that small thing with 2 wheels. So maybe JP, you know, that's how it is. If,
okay, well,
at the last second,
yeah,
Fort Hare got a break, and then the winger is there on the touchline where you normally is. You can anything can happen. You can fall in front of him.
Accidental fall on you guys. Yeah. You're talking about on my scooter, but there is something else that I picked up on there, and that is that you say I can't run that fast. I'm beginning to think maybe we should have a pedal sprint off here. I'll be happy to tackle Morgan Newman with his monk beard at the moment.
I don't want Mr. H. Jerome pulling a hammy or something.
All right, it's time for us to take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll start taking a look at what's happening in the Community Cup. Back with you guys in a moment.
Hi, I'm Kobani Bobo, and you're watching Cape Rugby TV.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Westenburg. Like the new Super Ace 1-ton mini truck. Our special introductory offer begins at only $109,995 from only $1499 per month. With a 60,000 kilometer 3-year maintenance plan, the longest load body in its class, power steering, and so much more. The Super Ace mini truck is powered to take your business places. To find out more, SMS the words Super Ace to 32010 and one of our service consultants will be in touch. Terms and conditions apply.
Tata is a good buy for sure.
Get more fantastic deals on Evox products at Dis-Chem now. Grab a 1.9 kilogram Lean Pro diet shake plus 30 free GCC diet caps for only $3.99. With 21 grams of protein and only 2 grams of carbohydrates, Lean Pro is perfect for your low-carb diet. Build lean muscle mass with 2.6 kilograms of amino whey protein for only $449.95 and get a free creatine HCl. Get down to your nearest Dis-Chem now for more great deals on Evox products. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers.
Cape Rugby TV it is, Wednesdays at 9, your favourite rugby program, and certainly making a lot of noise in the world of rugby. Everybody is now watching Cape Rugby TV. We've got people overseas watching us on YouTube. Some people are tuning into the Cape Town TV website, www.capetowntv.org, to watch us live online. And of course, otherwise, tell your friends. Many people have been asking, how do you tune into Cape Rugby TV? Well, it's simple. You take your aerial or your antenna and you point it at Tygerberg and you tune in manually, old school style. Yeah. Otherwise, find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com, or on Twitter at Cape Rugby TV. Next week, we'll be launching our Cape Rugby t-shirt. We now finally have that in the mix. and we'll be looking forward to watching the club rugby fans out there, especially those of you that are on Facebook, start wearing those Cape Rugby TV shirts around the games. It's been a fantastic initiative, especially on Facebook. Watching those of you talk to us on Facebook and tell us what's happening in the club games, especially now with the friendlies. And quite interestingly enough, your comments that you've been giving us after the Super 15 matches that's been happening. Some rather sometimes aggressive comments coming in on Facebook, and interesting to see your opinions. And of course, nice to see your support for club rugby on Facebook as well. So keep those comments coming. A little bit later, we'll be looking at some of the results of the club rugby friendlies that we took off the Facebook pages. So our results now are starting to come in from the Facebook pages quite instantaneously. So that's also great. And don't forget to feed it out on Twitter as well. Let's take a look now at the results from the weekend in the Community Cup. And then we see SK Warmers. Well, they went down by 5 points to Dispatch, and a massive win there, 96 points to 0 against Welkom Rovers for Durbanville. So, Morgs, you were at the game, of course, the Community Cup there. I think Hammy's played a warm-up game against Durbanville, and then after that it was Durbel there taking on Welkom Rovers. 96 points to 0. 96 points for Durbel. What was going on?
Yeah, look, Chase, I think Welkom Rovers lost 134-0 the week before, and now they're losing 96-0. So I don't think they're enjoying the Community Cup too much. But yeah, I mean, look, it's I must say that Durban side really looked like a wild-oiled machine. Like I was saying, what impressed me the most about Durban is that even after being, I think, 45-0 up after 25 minutes or something, they stuck to their structures, and you can see they played like a team. They had an end goal in mind. They're going to the playoffs now, which is taking place over the Easter weekend, and they're going there as a team and they played for the last 60 minutes as a team that are going there on a mission. And I think often, when teams are 45-0, 50-0 up, you find everybody wants to score a try. The game gets very loose, and Durban really stuck to their structures, and Flav still put them in the right position in the field, and they still played their plays as they would have liked. So I think the coach will be a happy man today.
Mr. H, you went to the SK game. It was a close game there, but apparently they just didn't quite pull it off in the second half.
Yeah, it must be massively disappointing for the thousands of fans. They were leading at halftime, playing against the wind. They turned with the wind behind them, and in the first 20 minutes of the second half, they completely lost it. I think Dispatch scored 3 or 4 tries in that time, and by the time they woke up, it was too late. They fought back brilliantly, but unfortunately, and it's a pity because they should have been in the playoffs.
Do you think so? You don't think that they've been out of their depth in the Community Cup?
No, not at all.
I mean, if you look at a Welkom Rovers here, for example, Welkom Rovers out of their depth.
And I must say, the Spats has got some huge monsters playing there in their pack. Guys,
well, aren't they a mining community?
No.
Anyway, those are your results then in the Community Cup. Staying with club rugby then, it's been quite exciting to see the amount of friendlies and rugby festivals leading up to the season. There was the Scottsdene Rugby Day, Kraaifontein had a rugby day on their side, Falsebay and Hammies have got things going, and of course there was a big rugby festival over the weekend at Milnerton. 10 teams went out there to play. Morgs, they started pretty early.
Yeah, James, I think they started on hoppers at 9 o'clock, and from the first whistle, I think the crowd had rocked up. They had breakfast, and by the time I got there at lunchtime, they'd been having lunch too. So, yeah, it was an awesome day down in Milnerton. I think what Unimil are doing down in Milnerton is really something awesome. Yeah. I think we'll see Ish speak about it. But I mean, he's mentioned so many initiatives that they've come about with, just out of bringing the community together. So it's awesome stuff they're doing there. Well,
let's catch up there with Nolene Westhuizen, and she's the club captain at Union Mill.
Really?
Folks, I'm here with Nolene Westhuizen. She is the club captain at Milnerton. Milnerton, Union Mill, 40th anniversary.
That's good.
You just had a game here with clearly a bunch of guys who are over 40. Tell us about that.
What happened is we won the league in 2008, and to make the day special, I invited them back to see if they are still as good as they are. And we had to find the same age group for them, so we asked the Goodwood Rebels to give them a go.
So these two teams, your team won the league in 2008, and the Goodwood Rebels, they came to help out today.
Yeah, they came to give them an opponent.
And you think that they've still got what it takes?
would love them back at the field, but with the passion that they play.
Yeah.
But I could see they're not getting back to the ball as quickly as they used to.
Here we go, folks, at Milnerton, or Union Mill, here in Milnerton, 40th anniversary, 5 different teams, or at least 5 different matches today.
Yeah, there was 10 games, and it was Kraaifontein, Van der Stel, NTK, and us. And Goodwood as well.
So lots of rugby. These are the kind of rugby festivals you must look for. See you in a mo. Things happening at Milnerton, those are the kind of festivals we're looking for, Mr. H. This is what gets the fever of rugby going just before the season. Eh?
Yeah. People are looking at what is happening, and the guys were saying, look at that Kraaifontein team. Was that their first team?
Yeah.
But Kraaifontein, they were playing another game over the weekend or Monday night. They played against an Argentinian team, so they didn't put their best first team in.
Yeah.
And but the spies and the
everyone's checking it out.
What is going on here? Why Van der Stel beat them or something like that? But there's a lot of interest in it.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Dolly Senior. He's very excited about what is happening there. And he's giving Ishmael all the support there.
Yeah.
And of course, I also the good fortune of having some of the lovely samosas and
yeah, they did. They did. They had a good lot of boerewors rolls there, some lekker samosas and some chocolate cake, and there were some
rotis. There were some rotis there too.
The rotis were world
I
class.
had one of those for lunch.
Did you?
Yeah, it was very, very good. I think Ish's mom was the one that put me a nice concoction together, so I wasn't complaining.
Well, talking about Ish, as we like to call him, we managed to catch up with the legend himself, Ishmael Dolly. Let's see what he had to say. Folks, here at Union Milnerton Rugby Club, it's their 40th anniversary, 5 games on the park today, quite a lot. And with me is the head coach, and he's no stranger to rugby in Cape Town, or for that matter in South Africa, Ishmael Dolly. Hey, Ish! How are you, my man?
I'm well, JP, how are you?
I'm always good and always the better to see you. Long time overdue that we get you on the camera.
It's been a while. Coaching is different to playing, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I feel I can give a lot back to the players, but yeah, thanks for you being here. We really enjoy you being here and exposing the game to the people out there.
But you're no stranger to community rugby and club rugby. I mean, you played for SK, you played for a couple of other clubs as well. You've travelled, you played for Province, the Vodacom Cup, the Curry Cup, the whole lot of them. What's your feeling about community rugby? How are we doing?
Massive. I think it's important that we grow the game, especially in communities. And it's important for Western Province to put a lot of time and effort into grassroots level, especially in the lower levels. In terms of structures, in terms of facilities, in terms of equipment. And I believe there's a lot of talent out here, and especially out there as well. And I feel that we can only grow the game and make Western Province stronger.
You were telling me earlier on about your under 20 team, and most of them players come from Dunoon.
That's correct. We had a charity drive where we asked each player to bring a can of food. And what we did was
each of your senior players
to bring a can of food. And what we did was for the whole month we collected a massive amount of cans, and at the end of the month we distributed to the old under 20 guys who all come from the Dunoon community, and they went home with a month full of canned food, and hopefully they'll enjoy it.
I got goosebumps. You can't see it on camera here, folks, but there you can see it, little goosebumps. This is a smart idea. So you say all the senior guys, they got together, and at every practice they each brought 1 can of food.
That's correct.
And that piled up to a whole lot.
That piled up to a whole lot, and those guys, the smiles on their faces, I mean, just to go home thinking for the next month they'll be able to have food on the table.
Smart.
It brought a tear to my eye, because I mean, we actually fulfilled those guys just a basic of eating, and it really touched me.
I think it's great stuff. Ish, well done.
Thanks, Shopee. Thanks a lot.
There you go. We'll see you guys in a moment. Great stuff there from Ishmael Dolly. Morg's a close friend of ours. You've played with him, I think, in a number of different teams. You had the same agent at one stage, but great to see him back in the mix.
Yeah, no, James. I think Union will really benefit from Isha. He's a knowledgeable guy. When I was playing with him through all the levels, he was a fly off that knew the game well, knew the laws, and I think he'll do really well with Union, so they can count themselves lucky.
Jerome, we're a little bit short sometimes on players giving back to the game. Players who played in the senior levels. I mean, Ishmael's played at international level. He's played for the Stormers, Western Province. I think he played for the Stormers. We need more players like that. More players who've got the skills. They've got their roots are solidly in the community, and they're getting back to club level.
Yeah, that's very good, JP. I mean, I was also fortunate to coach Ismail at under 21 level, Vodacom Cup level, at Curry Cup level. So it's good to see that the old players are, and is not really an old player, he's still young.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the right age for him to, if he wants to make a career in coaching, is to get involved there. And I think the players at Unimall, they really look up to him because they know him. And he was always one of the guys that put in the practices. So he's not one of the coaches that would tell a guy, listen, you must do that. And because a lot of coaches out there are not really an example to players, but they want to tell the players what they must do and what they mustn't do. So I think the players there, they will look up to him. And I know he's doing all his coaching levels. So he's really one of the guys, and I think one of the future coaches that's coming through that played at Western Province, played at a higher level, played national level. So it's good to see he's involved.
That's fantastic. Nice to have Ishmael Dolly there. We haven't had it, well, of last year, we didn't have much chance to focus on Ishmael. Had a sort of a baptism of fire as he was welcomed into the administrative ranks of Western Province Rugby. Not easy, not easy. There's so much to learn, and certainly he is already setting the pace. He is showing the other clubs out there what to do with community development. He's instituted some nice structures with the under-20s there. So he's got a long future ahead of him. And Ishmael, if you're out there and you're watching, which I know you are, we're 100% behind you, and we're looking forward to following you and your progress at Union Mill for the rest of the season. And we also, of course, also caught up with another legend of rugby, Eddie Jacobs. He was out there at Union Mill. He's also coaching there with Ishmael Dolly at the moment. A legend from the Springboks, legend from the Sharks, and a former Kraaifontein boy, if I don't have it mistaken. Nice to have him back in the ranks as well. Let's catch up with Eddie Jacobs. With me is former Springbok legend Eddie Jacobs. He's started coaching here. Eddie, you enjoying Milnerton?
Yes, it's nice. The weather is nice, as you can see. Good outing for the spectators, I think. Yes, it's my first year with Unimall Milnerton. Very exciting times for myself as a coach. I'm looking forward to this year.
What's your feeling on club rugby in Western Province at the moment?
I think club rugby overall, it looks fresh. I think the guys just must buy in. The older, the younger guys must just buy in. I think if we look forward to another 3 years in club rugby will be awesome in Cape Town.
You enjoying the gees? I mean, the club gees is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a change from spectators, but the gees will always be there. The camaraderie between players will always be there. What I miss a lot in the professional era is the friendship, but hopefully we can establish this between the club players. Those gees, to bring it back. It's always nice to bring those type of things back to the club rugby.
There you go, folks. Eddie Jacobs. How exciting to have him in Cape Town. A talent like this, and he's from Cape Town, and he's a homeboy. So yeah, we're bringing them back up. We'll see you guys in a minute. I think it's pretty nice there to listen to a professional player or former professional player who's played for all the provinces, and he didn't say once that those players should be aiming only to play in Western Province. He kept talking about the gees and the camaraderie and bringing the teams together to play. Jerome, if you have a player who plays for the gees, he plays for the camaraderie, he plays for passion, it's from there that you can select eventually a player who might make it into Western Province.
Yeah, definitely, JP, and it's like a player who's at a club, but he don't ask what the club can give to him, is what he can give back to the club in terms of his commitment, go practice, don't ask for money. It's not professional, though some clubs are paying. So that's the kind of things that I think that we expected from club players, and we needed club players.
Morgs, I mean, that's what's important from a player point of view, that you don't start off like a Tiger Woods at the age of 3 just to become the world's greatest golf player. You start off because you love playing rugby, you play at school, you play a club, you just pass the ball around, you're hanging out with your mates, and out of there the best will pop out. But you've got to start off playing for the family, for the fans, for the friends, and for the passion.
Yeah, look, James, rugby is an awesome team sport where you can just go down to the field and, kick a ball around, run into your mates, get physical, get some frustration out, and then have a beer in the bar afterwards. And I think that's where you'll see the best guys who play the best rugby are the guys that are playing for the love of the game as opposed to playing for the money. So, yeah, I mean, Ish and Adi are perfect examples of that.
Or alternatively, if you're at Rangers, you can go and play for the lekker carry and race narrative.
Yeah, that's the other thing, Jace. Not all the guys go to the bar. Some oaks go to their mom's cookies, like you say, cookies and curry.
Cookies and curry, because I tell you that was world class. I'm looking forward to the cook-off challenges that we're going to see this year. Mr. H, who have we got in the mix? We've got Elsie's with a scarp. We've got Northerns with the with a kreef pot.
Yeah.
We're still trying to work out if that kreef pot was an in-season. Ek seker daai kreef het uit seisoen gekom. We've got Rangers with probably the best carry and race and
sisters at halftime.
Yeah, and we're still trying to work out what that flat thing is called. I know that I run it plat koek type ding wat jy die roti insit. So yeah, we're going to see world class food.
Isn't it called naan bread?
Naan bread, that's it.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
Morgs, I can see you
guys mustn't go on territory that you don't know anything about. You will have a lot of tweets about what is the real name.
That's what.
So let's hope the people will correct both of you.
Well,
but I must be honest also, James, that there has been rumors of it coming on the show during the show one day. So
yeah,
I think that's a proposal that I've seen on Twitter. So maybe we must play this one out.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to the show where we're broadcasting from some of the clubs this year. That's going to be very exciting. And I think Rangers has to be. Well, I mean, if we're going to go for the food, we're going to go for the food, not for the rugby.
You can also do it from Wembley.
Oh, from Wembley.
Yeah. I went to City Park on Saturday to go watch the Vodacom Cup game.
Yeah.
And I had to, on my way back home, pop in at Wembley. I couldn't pass there. But I couldn't, it's too late to keep you guys some of the stuff.
Yeah, how too late to talk about
that? Is nou te laat. Jy kan nie nou na die tyd kom stompies optel nie. Jy weet, no, heavens no. No, that's not acceptable. We certainly, but I mean, obviously, I think, quite frankly, City should get a Wembley sponsorship. I mean, considering what is in Belgravia, and just from Thornton into Belgravia, and there's Wembley's. I mean, okay, let's not. This show is not sponsored by Wembley's, but we love to talk about certainly a Wembley's Whopper. Anyway, let's moving forward now. But there's going to be a cook-off challenge. We're looking forward to that. But let's take a look at some of the results that you send in on Facebook and on Twitter. And there we see Caledonian Roses beating Stampioneers 62 points to 25. Tygerberg 47-17 over Saldanha. Belleville beating Belhar 27-17. Primrose 65-17. A good start for them over Scottsdene. It was a draw for Goodwood over Ceres. Eersterivier beating Elsie's by just 2 points, 31-29. Lower Path 38-22 over Newton Villages. Rocklands, well, it was 32-24 for them over Silvertree. Kraaifontein losing by just 1 point to Van der Stel at the Milnerton Festival. And Milnerton going down to NNK 19 points to 13. So yeah, some interesting results there that has managed to come in from you guys on Facebook and on Twitter. Great to see those results coming in, and what that does is it shares the information. Talking about information, of course, it is time for us to look at Union on the Spot, the Western Province Rugby Football Union. What are they doing? We spoke to Danny Jones. He is the General Manager of Amateur Rugby at the Western Province Rugby Football Union.
The union has been involved in a number of activities. We had meetings with clubs. We had 3 regional meetings. On Tuesday night, we met with the Helderberg and Stellenbosch clubs. On Wednesday night, we met with the Tygerberg Zone 1 at Brackenfell. And Thursday, we met with the Tygerberg Zone 2 at Tygerberg Rugby Football Club, where we engaged with them around the new competition. Sunday, we trained 29 Sunday League team coaches. Last week we coached 29 girls, women's coaches, and the week before we had coaching sessions at Brookside as well as City Park. Coming up for schools, on Monday night we had a successful Newlands Day where we invited a number of our Premier League schools. We were surprised with the strength of the schools in the southern suburbs. At this point in time, the schools in Paarl and Stellenbosch has dominated our southern suburbs brothers. On Thursday, we will be having the Paarl Gym Day, where a number of school teams in the Paarl area and certain of our youth clubs will be playing at Paarl Gym. As well as on Thursday, we'll have the Sevens girls team at City Park, and they'll also be playing a few under 16 games there. While on Thursday, we have an under 20 sevens competition at in the Strand area, run by the Strand Rugby Club. 12 teams have registered to play there, so we are encouraging all the people in the Helderberg Kom to go and watch the under 27s in the Strand. Cut-off date for player registration will be the 31st of May. On the 15th of March, all players who have played in friendly games up until the 15th of March, there will be no player movement for them. By the 15th of March would be the last day in which a player could have moved to another club. So those players who played on Saturday for their clubs, they are fixed at that club for the next season. We're planning a meeting on Wednesday with the City Council. We'll be meeting the Executive Director for Sport and Amenities, Gert Bam. Amongst our general discussion that we will be having with him, we'll be looking at the club facilities, and especially the facilities management component, because in Western Province we have a relationship where all club players do not necessarily pay entrance fee at city venues. So we found that at one or two of these FMC grounds that clubs are charging players entrance fee. So we were discussing that with Gert, as well as improving club facilities and looking at new playing grounds for our clubs.
Right, so there you go. If you have already played any club games and you are registered with the club, it is now over. That is the club that you're going to play for the rest of the season. And but if you're out there and you're looking to join a club, you've still got until the 31st of May to start your rugby career. So get in there and go join a club and get into the mix, because club rugby in Western Province is an absolute jewel. Talking about rugby as a jewel, we also managed to see a new competition launch itself, the Tens, this time at school level. We saw the Cape Town Tens being very successful, with Bob Skinstad and Robbie Fleck and Ron Ratland and the boys getting one of Cape Town's biggest attractions now up and running. And now we see that we have more Tens in Cape Town. This time it's at schoolboy level, as I said. Rondebosch starting off with the Cape Town Tens. We also caught up there with Clinton van Rensburg, who is the coaching director at Rondebosch Boys High School.
Listen, well done to you guys. You win the first Tinky Haynes Shield. You must be very excited and proud of that.
Yeah, we're ecstatic. It's you don't play much trophies in Western Cape League, and to win a trophy like this on our own field against our biggest rivals means something very special.
Hi folks, we're here at Rondebosch. It is the first Rondebosch Tens, and the founder of the first Rondebosch Tens, a man we are no stranger to, former captain of Hamilton's and currently coaching at Hamilton's, Clint van Rensburg. Clint, a good one for you guys today.
Man, what a day. It couldn't have ended better for us. The guys showed a lot of determination. We went down there, but they stuck to their guns, and to come back after a long day and play like that, very proud of them. And I think it was a good final from both sides. Bishops also contributed hugely to that final.
Tell me a little bit more about the Tens. What made you guys get this started? Who thought of it?
I've played Tens in Malaysia, and we've obviously participated in the Cape Town Tens. And I just love the game because it's still rugby for everybody. It's not just the speedsters like sevens. And so it's a great way for coaches to actually look at players, because the opportunity is just so much better, less space to hide. And pre-season, a little bit of contact and getting together with all the other schools and have a bit of a social. It's great before the season kicks off.
Congratulations to the guys from Rondebosch. Yeah, so the Tens are getting off underway there, nice and successful. Mr. H, you were mentioning to me in the break, and I don't know for the folks who heard there, that was a trophy, or at least a shield, in honor of the former Professor Tinky Haynes.
Yeah, that's great, you know, because he spent his entire life there. Yeah. And, well, the other half of his life he spent at Western Province. doing the fixtures and all that.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was on the side of the field there, they called me out just to come and say a few words and help with the handover of the trophy, and it was a pleasure for me to explain to those kids what Tinky Haynes did at Western Province Rugby, especially in the management of those fixtures, because for so many years I watched you and Faisal Felton and Tinky Haynes do those fixtures, and it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's not easy, but Professor had a knack, you know, and he knew exactly. You couldn't come to him and say, but we need to play our last game at home because we didn't. He'll tell you, no, sir, you played your last game at home last year, so this year it's turned around.
So
he knew exactly, you know, he had a fantastic memory
about
those things.
So good to see the former heroes of Western Province Rugby being honoured in a way like that. It's time now for us to take a look at what happened last week in our leisure hotels competition. Of course, one of our winners winning a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast, courtesy of Leisure Hotels and Bed and Breakfast there at the Strand Towers. Leisure Hotels were, of course, one of our keen supporters here of Western Province Rugby, and of course other sports in and around the Cape Town area. You want to book yourself accommodation if you're outside of the Cape Town area, coming down to Cape Town, then Strand Towers is the place for you. Let's have a look and see who last week's winner was. And there we go. Congratulations to Virgil Jordan. You win for yourself one night's accommodation, bed and breakfast. Virgil, somebody will be in touch with you shortly. Let's take a look at the results now from the Vodacom Cup. And there we see it was a 23 points to 24 loss for Western Province. They lose by just 1 point. Jerome, what went wrong for Western Province?
Yeah, they were a bit unfortunate. I think the first half they weren't good because they lost a lot of balls at the breakdown. But they managed to go score a try, which the touch judge flagged that they were foul play and in the scrum.
A foul play in the scrum.
According to him, one of the players headbutt a player of the Sharks in the scrum.
But we know that's not. So that's absolute. I mean, who would do a thing like that? That can't be. That can't possibly.
I can't believe that anything like that will happen, JP.
Yeah,
but in the scrum.
What do these referees think? That this is wrestling? This is rugby, for heaven's sake.
So the try was cancelled, and that was basically the winning try. So yeah, unfortunate for them not to get the point.
That's just absolutely ludicrous. I mean, who would believe a thing like that? No one believes anything like that. That's just physically impossible. Who would ever headbutt anybody in a scrum? It's time for us to look at the logs now. We'll start off with the Southern League there, and there we see it's the Pumas on the top, at the Sharks are at the top at least. The Kings in second place, the Pampas, the Cavaliers, the Free State, and then we see Western Province in sixth place. Let's go now to the Northern League, and then we'll see there it is the Pumas on the top, the Lions, the Blue Bulls in third, Griquas, Leopards, Griffins, Falca, and the Blue Bulls making up the bottom spot. Fixtures coming up for Western Province in the Vodacom Cup. Yes, they take on the EP Kings. Western Province there at 7 o'clock a kick-off. 7 o'clock kickoff. Anybody know which day? Is it this Friday? Friday, playing in Port Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, if you are planning on going to PE, the fan behaviour at the PE stadium, not the best. You would have seen some YouTube videos going viral at the moment, and yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to make sure that you watch out for. Bad behaviour in the stands. PE fans don't seem to be up to scratch. We noticed that with their booing when they booed the start of the Super 15. It's time for us to take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll take a look what's happening in the Super 15. Of course, time for us to also take a look at what's happening with your Super Brew predictions. We'll see who the player is and who the poser is. Back in a mo.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Westenburg, like the new Super Ace 1-ton mini truck. Our special introductory offer begins at only $109,995 from only $1,499 per month. With a 60,000 kilometer 3-year maintenance plan, the longest load body in its class, power steering, and so much more. The Super Ace mini truck is powered to take your business places. To find out more, SMS the words Super Ace to 32010 and one of our service consultants will be in touch. Terms and conditions apply.
Tata is a good buy for sure.
Get more fantastic deals on Evox products at Dis-Chem now. Grab a 1.9 kilogram Lean Pro diet shake plus 30 free GCC diet caps for only $3.99. With 21 grams of protein and only 2 grams of carbohydrates, Lean Pro is perfect for your low-carb diet. Build lean muscle mass with 2.6 kilograms of amino whey protein for only $449.95 and get a free creatine HCl. Get down to your nearest Dis-Chem now for more great deals on Evox products. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers.
Super 15 time it is. Let's take a look what happened in last weekend's results. There we see it was a win for the Hurricanes over the Highlanders 23-19. The Cheetahs beating the Waratahs 27-26. The Kings losing to the Chiefs 35-24. Crusaders 41-19 over the Bulls. The Force 19-12 over the Reds. And the Brumbies 29-10 over the Sharks. Let's take a look now at your Evox competition. Evox is of course the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. This week we've got a fantastic opportunity for you to win yourself a set of double tickets to watch the Stormers take on the Brumbies. All you need to do is tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. You can win yourself a set of double tickets, but we also this week want you to tell us what is one of their favorite proteins. Of course, you can get this protein. This is the Evox Synergy Whey Protein used by the Stormers. You can get this at Dis-Chem. It's currently going on special. This is one of the highest quality proteins that are currently available on the market. And in addition to that, you can win yourself an Evox 600 shaker. This is a fantastic little shaker. If you haven't seen this out in the marketplace yet, it's sold at selected stores. It's quite an ingenious shaker. You open it up, you've got a little blender inside. You open that up and it's got a gadget inside, and you open that up and it's got a powder container in there, and then you open this up and you can put more powder inside that side, and then you open this side up and you put powder and capsules in on this side over here, and then so you can basically store powder in here, and of course powder in the shaker. And if that's too big for you, you just take the whole lot, you pop it in the bottom of the shaker, and you put your blender back in, and you put your lid back on, and there you go. There's your Evox 600 shaker. This is one of those high quality shakers. They're rather pricey, and they are certainly in demand. This is what the Stormers use. They use this shaker, and they use the Evox Synergy. So if you want to win yourself a set of double tickets to the Brumbies match, taking on the Stormers at Newlands this coming Saturday, tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. That is your keyword. And then in addition to that, tell us what you think is the favorite product of the Western Province Rugby teams and the Stormers in the protein space. Let's take a look now at last week's winner. And there you see Henry Mitchell. Congratulations, Henry. You win for yourself the before, the during, and the after pack courtesy of Evox Advanced Nutrition. Let's take a look at the fixtures coming up now over the weekend. And the Super 15 teams, it's the Chiefs against the Highlanders. The Crusaders take on the Kings. That's the Reds and the Bulls, the Force and the Cheetahs, the Sharks, the Rebels, the Waratahs and the Blues. And of course the Stormers take on the Brumbies at Newlands. Kick off there at 7 o'clock. Let's take a look at our players and posers in the Super Brew rankings. Marco is our player of the week, and dropping down to the lowest drop is D-Man. Sorry, D-Man, not too well done there. And the yellow cap trader there was, of course, wearing the Super Brew yellow cap, Marco. Well done to you. Right, gentlemen, it's time for us to take a look at the Super Brew fixtures and your Super Brew predictions. Let's take a look and see who does what. Morgs, Chiefs and the Highlanders.
Chiefs 12.
Jerome.
Chiefs 9.
Mr. H.
Chiefs 6.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs by 9. The Crusaders take on the Kings. Jerome.
Crusaders 21.
Morgs.
Crusaders 28.
Mr. H.
Crusaders 15.
I'm going to go with the Crusaders by 12. The Reds take on the Bulls in Brisbane. Morgs.
Bulls 5.
Jerome.
Bulls 6.
Mr. H.
Bulls 9.
Bulls 9. I'm going to go with the Bulls by 4. The Force take on the Cheetahs in Perth. Morgs.
James, I'm going to go Cheetahs by 8.
Mr. H.
Cheetahs 6.
Cheetahs by 6. Huisson is out. I am going to go with the Force by 7. Don't know why. Anyway, I'm burning my fingers here again. The Sharks take on the Rebels in Durban. Morgs.
I'm going to go Sharks by 10, James.
Jerome.
I'll go Cheetahs by 3 and Sharks by 12.
Mr. H.
Sharks 10.
Sharks over the Rebels. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the Sharks. They've been doing pretty well. I'll go with the Sharks by... I'm going to go with the Sharks by 4. And then, of course, the Waratahs take on the Blues in Sydney. Morgs?
Blues 7.
Jerome?
Blues 13.
Blues 7.
And I'm going to go with the Blues by 7 as well. I think that's a good prediction. And the big one over the weekend is, of course, the Stormers, the DHL Stormers, who take on the Brumbies at Newlands at kickoff at 7. Morgs.
Stormers 2.
Jerome.
Stormers 6.
Stormers 3.
Stormers 3. I'm going to go for the Stormers by 9. Of course, supporting the Stormers. Last week's panel Super Brew cap holder. Congratulations, Jerome. You are the most improved player. That's for you.
Thank you.
You can put that on. Well done. And yeah, it's very exciting to have a yellow cap holder on our show. There we go. There we go, folks. That is a wrap from us. Enjoy your rugby weekend. Morks, have a good rugby weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Japes. You too.
Jerome.
Thanks, JP. Will.
Lekker, Message.
Thank you, JP.
We'll see you guys at Newlands on Saturday. Kick off at 7. Have yourself a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.